So, my plans for today were to get myself ready, to set up my little filming area upstairs in my room, and to record two videos. One is going to be the next installment of my Gothic literature segment, and the other was going to be a disability video. I had planned these out, I had my notes ready, I was all good to go, and very excited to film them. And then I turned on the news. I wanted to turn on the news today because I do follow politics closely. Any of you who are on my Twitter will definitely be aware of that. I don't get super political here on my YouTube channel because that's not really what it's for, but I definitely do on Twitter. However, I'm making an exception to the rule tonight because I cannot, in good conscience, just sit here filming this happy-go-lucky, light-hearted, fun, peppy video, knowing what went on in Washington, D.C. The entire world was watching as a bunch of Trump supporters attacked the Capitol building with every U.S. senator inside and the vice president. And from what we know, 50 people were arrested, although people argue there were hundreds of them that got to the step of the Capitol building, and at least 100 were inside at the time. And other than that, and the fact that 4 people died, we don't know that much because we're not really being informed as to what happened. I don't care what political affiliation you are, if you found the actions of those Trump supporters today acceptable, there is something terribly wrong with you morally and ethically. I would be horrified if this had been someone in my political party doing this. I would be horrified if my party was being represented by a bunch of people who resort to that level of violence to get what they want. And then for Fox News, not that this is terribly surprising for them, but for Fox News to go on national television and state that at least they weren't ransacking or rioting or vandalizing or whatever, like the BLM protesters. Like, do you want civil war in this country? Because that's where we're headed right now. This was basically a declaration of war. And I don't know. I can't understand why people aren't taking this as seriously as they should be. But yeah, after knowing that people died today, after knowing people were afraid for their lives today, after knowing people were basically huddled up in a room together, hoping that it wouldn't be their last day on Earth, and that there were Congress people who had said goodbye to their families because they had a feeling that it would get bad enough today that they might not end up home alive. It just does not feel appropriate to be making a happy-go-lucky little video. If things calm down tomorrow, you can expect some then, but I don't know. I mean, people are starting to think that potentially for the next 2 weeks, things are going to be more or less like this. So yeah, I know this is political, I know this is rambly, but it had to be said.